Sean is killing it over here. We got this side all done up, and now he's working on the other side with a little template kind of. He's getting it figured out. It's gonna look really awesome. I'm excited. That's gonna be epic. And then Sunday I came in and I refit all this back up. Should have brought a light in here with me, but it looks really good. I got little vents in there and everything. It's all in there. Added 2 bars in the rear here, and then a parachute. So we added these 2 bars because S1 recommended that we put those to this top bar that the div is mounted to for support so it doesn't bend, and then you got the parachute. It's pretty epic. So I'm super excited. It's gonna be rad. You whore. Sean's a madman, getting the end tanks all welded on there now. Getting the first one, the second one on. It's epic. It looks really good. I like that a lot. Come back through here with a light. Show you guys what I got cooking, because it was super darker in that little clip. Alright, so look at that, guys. I'm liking it a lot. I did put the little e-brake in here. I haven't put the cables on it yet. I have the cables. I have the brackets from S1 right there. So I mean, I've pretty much got everything I need. But for the first PSCA race and stuff, I'm just gonna get it all mounted up, get it in here for now, and get things figured out. I also need to do a firewall back here for the fuel cell before the PSCA race and get that all taken care of. Probably just some sheet metal or something, but I'm gonna need to get going on that too here soon. Get that taken care of. I'm starting on the boost pipe now, working on that half right there. It's come along really well, guys. That looks super sick. Good clearance. Could have came even more, a little more forward, all the way up to this edge if we needed to. The bumper clears all the way there, so we know we're solid here. Nice safe spot. That's really cool. So we've been thinking, and I think we're gonna turn the exhaust, come out over here. It's kind of similar to Todd's, but more of a like a little horn kind of thing. We'll figure it out. Just makes the catch pan and things a little bit easier. I got the scatter shield on there, WickFab scatter shield. Works really good. That looks killer.
Force fed.
Force fed. Just made another slight adjustment to the camera. Still a little blurry around the lights. A little brighter though. Still a little dark, but definitely better. We'll get it one day. It'll be perfect one day. Those of you that were asking though, these are GoPro Hero 7 black, and they work great. Alright, so Sean has been killing it on the fab. It is coming along super far. We've got a swirl pot going on. The boost pipe is all done. He's looking at radiator stuff, and it is getting a windshield today. So that is super, super exciting. My buddy Brandon over here at Platinum Auto Glass hooking it up. Getting the windshield in the CRX. It's looking real good. Currently stripped the old molding and stuff. Super fresh. Gonna get it in here. That's awesome. It's exciting. Super exciting. Pretty pumped.
That scene.
Right? It's tight.
I'm gonna take these down for now.
Okay.
Kind of like a group in those days.
Yeah. Heck yeah. It's fresh. The old one had like so many little chips and stuff in it from the grinder and stuff. Because I just didn't cover it when I shaved my bay and stuff. So I just was grinding and sparks were hitting it. It was terrible. Super fresh. Damn. That's awesome. I got my new Motion Raceworks cable drive adapter for my mechanical fuel pump, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the air motive pump bracket off and then take it around to the back where that'll be hooked up and start bolting this one on. This thing's looking really sick. So the cable's just gonna go inside here, and then it's gonna go in that hex drive that's in there, and I'll route it probably around through that hole, or maybe down along the frame rail, down to the back and to the fuel pump where it's gonna be at the gas tank back there. And I think we're gonna run methanol, so we're gonna be ripping. It's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited. Ooh, heck yeah. This is fresh, dude. Motion Raceworks, this is rad. I like this a lot. Super clean. I think there's gonna be something that comes with the cable. It screws right on here, it looks like. It looks super simple. Lots of room for my swirl pot. It's gonna be great. That looks really good. I'm liking it a lot. That's freaking sick, dude. It's got a windshield. This car is looking fresh. Monster. What's up, everybody? So we have been just thrashing, dog. Everywhere, which way. So I'm working on drawing up my fuel system right now. So I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown. Sean is gonna weld. So we don't know what he's gonna weld yet. I'm hoping a 12, but so I have this. This is my return for my turbo. It needs a 10 on it because with the way this housing is, I know it's all custom and stuff. They sent me this one with a 12 on it, but it's so, I was right, so gosh darn close to this upper housing. I'm never gonna get a 12 on there. So we gotta weld a 10 on here, and then I'd love to have a 12 on this end. It's already got a 10 on this end, but if it is a 10, it'll work, it's fine, but I'd love to have a 12. Because then I could come 12 all the way from my pump back there, all the way up, boom, 45 to 12 onto the rail right here, 90, 10 right here, boom, straight 10 into the regulator, 8 straight coming out the bottom, boom, 12 and the 8 coming all the way around back. I've got the tank mounted now. All the bolts are tight and this thing is not going nowhere. The return is going to come through maybe here somewhere. There's going to be a hole with the grommet. Return's going to come through and boom, 90 or maybe even a little bit of tighter angle depending on if we can reach it over this edge, make it clean and sleek. And then tucked in the front, I'm going to have, in the back, I'm working on, I just drew up my slot and everything, my hole. I'm gonna look at some grommets on the cars, the parts cars, maybe run to the parts store, look at some grommets they got. It's gonna be like right here, a square or a circle. Eventually I'd like to have a bulkhead for the A1000 as a primer pump, so I can just hit the switch, start the car, turn that off, and then the mechanical's running it from there, because the mechanical is gonna take a minute to prime from here. But so we'll have the 12 coming out, a 90 right here, and then a filter right off of that 90, and then a straight, and then right here in this little hump I've got, so the pump's really cool. I have the mount this bolts into, and then I bolted into I've been looking at some stuff. I bolted into there, and then I just mount that to something and the cable will go onto it. So I'm thinking like right here. So that isn't upside down. I know the air motive is upside down, but this, where this 16 is right now, is the feed side, and then that's the return side. So I'll need a 12 to 10 here. This is a -12 ORB to 10, and then this is like a 16 welded thing. We're gonna just put a 12 right on there, so it'll come from the filter straight 12 12, and then it'll have a 90 here, jetting it up to the front with the 12 line all the way up, and it's gonna rip. So it's coming along super great. I just drew that up. Jamie can get a filter and fittings coming like that. He is really good at doing that stuff. And Austin, the guys, the brothers that helped us with the roofing and all the stuff, have done so much around here for us. He has his Del Sol in here. He's going B series, so he's actually got an EF mount in there right now. I just brought him the bracket so he can put his EG one in, and we are cranking away, helping him, trying to get this thing to the race as well as everything. I mean, you can see Jamie's knuckles are off. He did some damage to the brother-in-law Civic. I don't remember what he renamed it, but he did some damage there. We were working on this beautiful EK, putting a turbo kit on it and a bunch of stuff, tucked radiator, all that cool jazz. I've already kind of started going on it, as well as I just put a new clutch in Derek's, and we did a couple little things. I unlocked the VTEC, we redegreed the exhaust cam, and so he's coming out as well as a bigger fuel pump. He's coming out swinging like always. Derek loves his little Hondas. Beautiful Mustang in here. John Jacobs is getting some exhaust work done. It's pretty rad. I'm excited though. The CRX is coming along really well. Sean's almost done with this swirl pot. He's gonna put a radiator in here. This is not how big it's gonna be. I know this tiny little thing is like 5 or 4 inches. You guys are like, that's not gonna work, Shane. Yes, I know. This isn't even like, look, it's half a radiator. Anyways, he's just mocking stuff up, looking at heights. He's thinking 10 by 8, I believe, or 12 by 8, whatever this is, wide. I think it's 12 wide by 8. And then he's gonna build his end tanks on it. I think it's 14 with these tanks, but he's gonna build his tanks. And so that's our little plan there. Having some 16s off the bottom of this. This will be where we fill. Actually, he's gonna have me unbolt this plate. We're gonna do a dash 4 in here to the side of this, so then it can, the system can all burp properly, and then I'll have a 16 off of the water tube back here coming up here. So it's really sleek and everything. Motion Raceworks hooked me up with this beautiful cable bracket where the cable for the fuel pump's gonna go. Dude, the CRX is coming along epic. I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna have to rip the Trail 70 here in a sec, because I'm just so freaking pumped right now. Woo! I forgot something, so because I was so freaking pumped, I went and ripped the Trail 70, and I remembered. We also started the firewall for the fuel cell, as well as I'm gonna put the battery back here. I think I might, there's a chance I might put it right here. There's, there's a spot, but I might not. So I know my catch tank, like for if I blow a motor, the thing that's gonna catch the oil and like this, the breather box, everything, that guy is gonna come here with a breather tube that comes up and kind of vents like here. So it'll be out in a way. But over here, I don't think we're gonna have anything yet. I'm not sure. We were talking fuel cell, and then fuel cell ended up right here. So battery could be placed there possibly, which would be nice because fuel, I mean, which would be nice because everything electronic is up here already. I mean, like everything power wise is up here, everything. So it'd be nice if I didn't have such a long wire and some power draw. I may put the A1000 back here at some point, but that would be the only thing back here, and I could run a nice 70 amp relay that would supply a bunch of power for it. I mean, fan, everything, starter, all of it's up here, so it'd be much smarter to put the battery there. I might, we'll see. Once I get everything in, I'm gonna drop it on the scales again, see where the corners are, adjust a few things, you know, go up with some springs, to come down with some springs, change the corner balance, and then I'll see really, like, you know, this is the best corner to put the battery, because it's ultimately, it shouldn't affect, it should affect close to the same, because that's the left rear, or this is the left front, the driver's side, and that's the right rear, so they kind of pull from each other, and so it should help either way. It should do the same thing almost either way. It just, how much will it do, because the left front is out a lot more on the left front, and the right rear is kind of almost more central, so it wouldn't have as much weight, and we'll just know when we get there. But I'm super pumped, getting really close. Gordo's fired up last night. I wasn't over there, I was working over here. We were all cranking away. My dad was helping him fix his wiring. His fired up last night. He's got a few things left to do. He's putting a fuel pump relay kit in it right now because something's up with his fuel pump trigger, and it's like his car primes and you hear the fuel pump and it turns on, and then as soon as it fires, the fuel pump turns off and the car turns off, and you're like, damn, we had it, it was running. So he's just doing that so it stays running, and then it'll be ready to dyno, and we'll be ready for the first PSCA race hopefully, and be able to put some moonshine in it after that. So I'm really pumped up. You can tell I'm really pumped up. We've all been doing great, working hard. You know, it's Mother's Day. I'm still here. I'm gonna see my mother. Of course, it's Mother's Day. I gotta go barbecue, you know, gotta do the thing. So just having a great week, and hopefully we can get this all taken care of and finished. I'm probably gonna start running my vacuum lines, honestly, just so they're done and I don't have to think about them again, because then they'll be out of my head and taken care of. I only have to run 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 vacuum lines. We got a fuel pressure regulator that needs one. We've got the blow-off valve that needs one. A and B on the boost solenoid, and then the source. Simple stuff, super easy, like simple. All right, so I've been kicking butt. I've got all of the vacuum lines ran, just need to zip tie them. The boost solenoid, I need to wire it. I put it right in here. It's a nice little spot right there, and then I put this little vacuum line along the edge of where I trimmed when I cut all the headlight stuff underneath. I didn't really cut the headlight, but the lower bucket, and then it comes underneath. All 3 of them go onto the bottom of the intake manifold, and it looks really good. Brought the welder over because I've been busy. I've been getting pretty good. So I mounted my little seat bar. I'm pretty good with the welder, eh? Not too bad. I'm getting better. Yeah, this thing is looking sick. And so I did make sure it's center on the sides here, and with this centerpiece and everything, and it was a little crooked, so I fit it all in there, and I just set it, and I came back here and looked, and I was like, oh, jeez. Because to me, it looked center from the side, like I was at the driver door, and it looked center, it looked good. And I looked at the back, and I was all wonky and way to the right, and had to fix that, but I'm getting good, man. I used the notcher, I cut that, welded it, bent it all by myself. I mean, I'm getting good. You know, Jordan is a huge help around here. He kicked butt yesterday. He did all of this stuff, fit all this up. And now my job is just to, I think I'm gonna run along on the outside actually, and just run a seam sealer in here, seam seal these outer edges so it still looks pretty clean in here. Might not be able to get back in here, but I might be able to. See if they make like mini caulk guns, mini seam sealers. Get one of them mini ones in there, or even if they do like like Honda Bond comes in a little like toothpaste tube. If they do seam seal like that, I could get some seam seal real clean with one of those, dude. Tell you what, I'm pretty good with one of those. Whew. Still out of breath, man. I've been all over the place. So I'm definitely gonna have a video, guys, to you by the end of the day. I know it's gonna be pretty much the last 3 weekends. I should have made one each weekend, but I've been working more than I've been filming. I know I need to get in the groove. I'm getting there. You can tell my energy's coming. I'm getting in the groove again. I need to get all this stuff done, you know? I know you guys, you want to see it done rather than me build it for forever. So I've been cranking, man. I'm trying. I stole a few parts from the Civic, so the Civic is not going to be done for a bit, but that's all right. Like the blow-off valve and the wastegate, I only had one of them, so took those from the Civic. We were still annoyed. I just jacked it from the Civic, and that's all right, because I talk way too much, but I love it. All right, so I've been on it. I've ran all my vacuum lines, but I'm gonna change a little bit up, and I'm gonna pull the source off of here, and I'm gonna hook it up to right there, and then I'm gonna pull the internal map sensor from the fuel tech and put it on where I had the source for that. So then it'll all still be clean, and you'll just see one little line coming from over there, and there'll be a little line from under here to there, and that'll be all nice and tucked. Got that in there, showed you guys that. And I just changed up my idea for the fuel lines and started drawing that up because my dad came and he just changed my whole mind. So I'm gonna mount the pump right there, and it's just gonna sit in that, really pretty, really nice. And he just went to get me some longer bolts so I can bolt it all in. But I'm gonna mount it right there, and then the cable, I'm gonna drill a hole in the frame right there, and the cable's gonna run, it's gonna go in, it's gonna come out underneath, run along the bottom of the car, boop, poke right up in and into the hex drive on the pump. And so all of the fuel lines and everything will be contained in here. We'll probably have like the fuel filter right here with a 90 off of it coming to a straight, or a 45 onto the pump there. And I'm gonna get a 90 bulkhead. I looked up and I can get a 90-degree bulkhead, so I'm gonna get a 90 bulkhead, and I'm gonna use a 90 bulkhead, and then I'm gonna go to that with a straight, and a straight from that to the filter. And then eventually I want to get a priming system, and I have 2 spots down here where I can put a bulkhead. I can put the other bulkhead in, and I can add like a priming pump, an electrical one or something, just to flip a switch, but I'll do that all later. And I'll just have a cap on that other thing that's down there right now. So that would make everything in here look really cool, really sleek, really easy. Like everything's back here, safe. I mean, the only long line is gonna be the return coming right here, which is pretty much gonna be the same, and then the line coming from here down and up, which is gonna be 12. So 12 and an 8 all the way up, and the rest of it will be all the same up front. So I'm super excited. I have to go to my mom's now, of course. So thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe down below. This is GoofyBuilt. Peace out.